Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the GBFC channel. Today, Man City versus Chelsea. The preview. It's been one that you guys have been asking for. 2 weeks since the last match preview, 2 weeks since the last Chelsea game. We are currently in Warrington, which is, I don't know, about half an hour away from Manchester. I actually don't know how far away it is. I sound stupid now, but it's like in between Liverpool and Manchester. And obviously the game is a late kickoff on Saturday evening. So we're spending the night here in Warrington this evening and then heading into Manchester tomorrow morning, first thing, for Man City versus Chelsea. This has been a long anticipated game. And in this video today, I'm going to be giving you guys my Chelsea starting 11, how Chelsea can beat Manchester City, how I expect the game to go, and if you didn't see earlier today's video, I actually predicted the scoreline for this one already. So if you haven't seen it yet, pause this video, go and watch my Premier League prediction for game week number 13, and then come back to this video, because I do think that this game between City and Chelsea will have a bucket ton of goals. I think that City are one of the best attacking teams in Europe. Chelsea have showed this season that we can also attack and score a lot of goals, particularly away from home, and defensively, both teams have had points this season where they've looked very shaky. So with adding those two things together, we can expect a very attacking game with plenty of goals. So if you've gone back and watched that video, then amazing. You guys are absolute heroes. But I'm going to say it now. I'm going to split up my prediction and my preview by giving my score prediction straight off. City 3. Chelsea 3. I think there's gonna be goals in this game. I think we could see something similar to last season, but this Chelsea team seems to have a lot more about them. We seem to be playing in a way where we don't ever look like we're gonna get hammered. We look like we could concede goals, but we always look like we're gonna score, whether that's on the counter-attack or whenever we get an opportunity. Tammy Abraham's been clinical, and we've had players that can finish from all over the pitch, which is a big thing for Chelsea this season. I've said there's gonna be goals. How do I think City are gonna set up? Going to be something similar to what they usually do, a 4-3-3. When they're attacking, it transitions into a 2-3-5. Now, the way this works, in a nutshell, I don't usually do like deep dives into tactics and analysis here on this channel, but in a nutshell, Pep Guardiola likes to play with inverted fullbacks. When City are attacking, both the left back and the right back, they kind of fill in to the midfield. So they've got a holding midfielder, so he makes up the three, with the two fullbacks coming in centrally, the left centre mid and the right centre mid, which are often more attacking minded players like David Silva or Kevin De Bruyne. Those guys are joining the attack. So it's kind of like when you look at them, they've got five in an attack. They've got two players down the wing and usually Aguero or Gabriel Jesus in the middle. So one of the main things that Chelsea really need to worry about is the sheer mass of quality within this Manchester City side. It doesn't matter what attacking lineup they actually field, there's always going to be danger men in this team. It might be Sergio Aguero, who has scored, I think it's 15 goals in his career at Manchester City against Chelsea. Astronomical sum. There's also Gabriel Jesus, and either one of those strikers on their day are one of the top marksmen in the Premier League. You've also got the man that we let go of under Jose Mourinho. He's come up a lot this week, but we're not talking about him anymore. We've moved on from that. Kevin De Bruyne is an absolutely phenomenal footballer. One of the best midfielders in the world. Obviously, we can argue all day long about who the best midfielder in the world is. We've got one of the people in that conversation in our team. We'll get into the Chelsea lineup in a moment. David Silva, these guys, and Raheem Sterling, and Riyad Mahrez, it doesn't matter who it is in this Man City team. Going forward, they're going to cause Chelsea problems. And in terms of seeing the likes of potentially Reece James, you've got Tomori in there. For these young players, this is probably going to be one of the biggest tests of their careers in terms of the quality of opposition they're coming up against and the magnitude of the game. It's been 2 weeks since the last match. Chelsea have won 7 away from home in a row in all competitions and are right now the most informed team in Europe, having won their last 6 league games. And if we throw it back to probably like 2 months ago now, before these 6 fixtures that we've just won, I remember saying that on paper, these are all winnable games, and Manchester City away, relatively dodgy start to the season, you could say. It was a bit up and down, and then all of a sudden things have just skyrocketed for Chelsea, and now the real test against one of the big 6 teams is Man City away. I said it earlier this week when I was going through the decisions that Lampard needs to make. I said that Man City away on paper is the fixture at the beginning of the season, as they've been double champions, that you look at it and you don't really expect logically to come away with anything from this fixture. The thing with Chelsea now is they're playing with confidence. We've had a lot of luck during the international break, which is something we've not seen yet for Frank Lampard. Lampard. We've got no new injuries. Christian Pulisic supposedly. Lawrence is having a little nap on the bed. Say hi, Lawrence. He says hi, guys. He's just having a little sleep. No new injuries to worry about. Pulisic looks as though he's going to be ready. Hudson-Odoi's got a hamstring injury. We're not sure if he's going to feature, but he's not actually been starting in recent games, and Chelsea have been winning recent games, so we want to try and field a team similar to what we have been recently. We'll get into the Chelsea team in a moment, but I think the real areas that Man City will be available to exploit in this game is defensively. I think they've always been a team that like to play from the back. Their goalkeeper often looks like an outfield player, whether that's going to be Bravo or Ederson. It probably is going to be Bravo. I don't think Ederson's recovered from his injury, so putting pressure on the goalkeeper tomorrow is going to be key for Chelsea, trying to cut out the passing lanes, and I think the game is going to be won, if Chelsea are to win it tomorrow, with the midfield. So without any further ado, we can go into the individual battles once we've lined up this Chelsea team. So we said that City are probably going to line up with a 4-3-3. I expect Chelsea to do something similar. There's some big decisions to be made, particularly in the right back position, who's going to be in the midfield three, and who is going to be the wingers. In terms of the goalkeeper and striker, it's Kepa and Tammy. So as we've lined it up on the graphic on the screen, those two are already in place. We're also going to stick Tomori and Zuma in the middle because those guys have been in brilliant form recently. Rudiger's not fully fit yet, Christensen isn't either, and those two have been playing some really good stuff for Chelsea. So expect Tomori on the left, Zuma on the right, with Emerson at left back. Emerson has kind of been one of those players where during this international break, everyone's been going on about Ben Chilwell. I have been. And Emerson tomorrow has got a real opportunity against a very good side, probably playing up against someone like Raheem Sterling. He's got a chance to prove why Chelsea should be focusing on keeping Emerson as the number one left back. So Emerson on the left, and the right back, and I'll give my reasons for this in a second, Reece James. He got his first Premier League start against Crystal Palace, and I think that in this kind of game where City are going to run at you, they're going to try and spread the play, they like to stretch things with their wingers really, really wide to enable those half spaces in behind the Chelsea midfield lines to get De Bruyne and David Silva alongside Sergio Aguero or Gabriel Jesus when they attack. So in order to combat this, Chelsea needs some physicality and strength on the fullback positions. We've all seen Reece James. I said to him that he needs to, let Wilfried Zaha slowly slide out of his pocket so he can stick Riyad Mahrez in there or Raheem Sterling in there. So Reece James is going to have the biggest test of his career, but I think he's ready. If you look at the physicality of the bloke, the man he's a big lad. He out-muscled Wilfried Zaha on countless occasions, and he's also very smart tactically on the ball when it comes to knowing when to pass, when to hold it, when to go backwards, sideways or forwards. Reece James, out of all of the Chelsea youngsters, is probably the player I'm most excited about for the future. So I've stuck him in at right back, and then we go into a midfield three, and for the first time I think this season in the Premier League, we're going to see Kante, Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic all playing together. I put out like a little story where I kind of painted a nice picture of a hazy, wet evening in the Etihad where the score's 0-0 and then Mateo Kovacic rocks up and scores in the 88th or 89th minute to win it for Chelsea. That is like a pipe dream. Kovacic is yet to score a Chelsea goal. I think it's coming, and I think in this kind of game where we're going to have to be very careful with how many midfield players we commit forward, maybe it's up to one of these three in the midfield to win the game for Chelsea. I think one of the key things is going to be Jorginho, the ability to pass the ball early. Man City always like to press, so in terms of time on the ball, Jorginho's not going to have as much time as he would against, say, a lower level opposition from the Premier League. So with a midfield three, what it enables us to do is the men either side of Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic, can drop back to help the defence. When we get rid of the ball, Jorginho can collect it in the middle, hopefully play like a first time pass over to Tammy Abraham or to one of the wingers who have stayed forward, and I think Chelsea tomorrow will hopefully be able to get a lot of luck on the counter-attack, and a lot of that all comes down to the passing capabilities of Jorginho. The man needs to be really on his game, as does every single player in this Chelsea team. Moving forward, so that we can complete the Chelsea lineup, then we can really look into those tactical battles a bit more. Gone with Christian Pulisic on the left. It looks as though he's going to be fit. I've waited to film this video until after Frank's press conference, so it looks as though with Hudson-Odoi's hamstring injury, that's something that could be triggered again, and it seems to me as though Christian Pulisic is going to be fit for this one. Willian on the right, we're going to need him to keep running. We've seen a lot lot of energy from Willian this season, and he's really going to need to be on the ball here at City. We've seen us go to the Etihad before. That performance in the league that in the season we won the league under Antonio Conte, that second half where Willian also got on the score sheet, we need to be just like that tomorrow. And it really is possible. We're playing some good football, Willian and then Tammy Abraham up front. So as you can see on the screen, that is my Chelsea lineup. I think that in terms of calling this game, it would be foolish to say anything else other than Man City are probably the favourites. Every single time they've lost a game in the Premier League, they've come back and they've absolutely hammered the next team that they play. As someone is trying to get in contact with me behind me, but we'll ignore that for now unless it goes off again in the next 3, 2, 1, 0. We've ignored it. City to play a 4-3-3 as well. The evident roles in this Chelsea team that really need to be targeting that Manchester City defence is the counter-attack ability with Christian Pulisic and Willian. City have got great players all over the field, be it the right back, even Angelino, who I didn't really know that much about as the left back. And I think that in terms of Chelsea trying to get a result in the game tomorrow, we are going to have to do everything perfectly. We're going to have to do everything we can to the best of our abilities and hope that Manchester City have an off day. And I think that going in, instead of using the 4-2-3-1, which means that Mason Mount drops out of this team because he's usually in the number 10, in the midfield 3, can you not flipping message me? Going with a 4-3-3, in my mind, there's absolutely no doubt that the strongest three, if it is a midfield 3, right now is Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic. And I think between those guys, with the ability of Kovacic and Kante to drop back in and help that defence, Jorginho's passing range over the top and around the back into the gaps, Tammy Abraham is going to need to finish all the chances he gets tomorrow, because even though it's going to be end-to-end action, it's all going to be down to the clinicalness of the finishing as to who comes away with the win. As I said at the start of the video, I think it might be something crazy. I think it could be a 3-3. And realistically, if you look forward to the game on Wednesday, which arguably, despite this game being massive, I think a lot of that is also down to the fact that it's just been an international break and we're just itching to get back on the field and see Chelsea play. The Valencia game is a must-win game. Whereas this one at the Etihad, if we go away with a draw, it's not really that negative at all, and it would be a great result. And at the moment, considering this unbeaten run that we're on, yeah, we lost to Man United in the Carabao Cup, but in terms of the Premier League, it would be a brilliant result and a massive improvement on last season's 6-0 defeat. We cannot just shy away from the fact that we could get battered, because we've seen at times this season defensively, we've been woeful. And Man City, when they really want to, they can turn it on and hammer any team in the world. But I've got confidence in this Chelsea team. I'm going to the Etihad tomorrow, otherwise I wouldn't have come up here to Warrington. But I will see you guys in the stadium. I'll hopefully see some of you guys there. The match vlog will be going live straight after the game. We'll try and get it out within like an hour to 90 minutes from full time. I am nervous, I'm excited, and I think more so than ever before, I'm confident quietly. Even though it's not really quiet when I'm uploading this to the internet for thousands of people to watch, but like, I believe in this Chelsea team. I think tomorrow is going to be the biggest test of the season. It's going to be the biggest test in some of these players' careers. And I want us to watch out for Mason Mount off the bench when City start to tire potentially late in the game. Having Mason come on and press in and getting in between the lines, giving City some real tough times when it comes to them loving to keep the ball. If Mason Mount is on the pitch for the last half an hour, he could make the difference for Chelsea. So let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments down below. Let me know your predictions for this game. Let me know the key battles that you think are going to be essential for Chelsea coming away with maybe 3 points or at least a result tomorrow at the Etihad. I will catch you guys in the next upload tomorrow. See you all there. Come on, you Blues.